Hello friends, hello family, hello fiends, hello fowls. Welcome to another Mikey Talk, where I talk about something, either stupid or a little bit not stupid. But first, I need some flippin' coffee. Wow, that was convenient. There's a coffee shop right across the street. They even knew my name somehow. That's strange. I'm not a coffee drinker, but that's some good coffee. Real quick, before we start the video, shout out to Soul Church, Soul Cafe, I think. I was planning to film this video, but I'm like, I'm gonna go and get some coffee. So I went there, got coffee, and I'm like, okay, time to go look for a park. And then I looked across the street and there's this park. How cool is that? Lord Sovereignty. Can I get an amen? And the topic of this video is my plan with this series moving forward, or just my plan with creation, video creation overall. So, as you can see, I've done 3 podcasts so far, 2 with Michael and 1 with Sam, totaling 8 hours of footage. But I've realized that I like talking to people. I like people's beliefs and why they hold them. I like to learn the why behind beliefs. So yeah, I realized that that's something that I really enjoy, and I always just want to know why people believe what they do and the why behind them, even if I don't agree. So then I've been thinking of ideas like, who should I interview, who would I like to interview. I got this whole list of people and like what I would ask them. Not specific people. Some are specific people, but most of them are just like certain occupations or certain attributes or certain belief sets. Yeah, so I'm like, man, I really enjoy that. So I went to Florida, made no videos about it except the podcast with Sam. On the flight there and the flight back from Chicago, both from Chicago, I met a dude named Hector. Talked with him the whole time. Got really deep. I really enjoyed it. Second time from Chicago, met a woman named Jenna. Very interesting, got very deep, and they're both like middle-aged, and I really enjoyed the talk. I got to like know them very deeply, and not to say this, not to try to exemplify my image, but just to kind of see that I have a skill in it. They both ended up saying like, oh, some aspect of I enjoyed talking to you, and you have an act like you're good at. You're a good listener, or you're good to. Squirrel is staring at me. He was staring right at me. Yeah, so I kind of have nope, that's a bit too. Yeah, so I learned that I kind of have a toe in it. I have some skill in this. And I enjoy it, so yeah, I'm thinking if I could, that's what I would do for a living right now. If I would get paid a comfortable amount to just find interesting people to talk to, and find out why they believe what they do, and he keeps staring at me. He's threatening me. Anyways, yeah, if I could do that for a living, I think I would. And I've been thinking of ideas for it. I already messaged. So those 2 people, Hector and Jenna, in the end, well, kind of not at the end, but ended up going across like, oh, what do you like? They asked me like, oh, what are you into? And I told them, blah, 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 whatever I'm into. And then I ended up asking, oh, would you like to be on a podcast? Right, kind of interview you. And Hector was like, oh yeah, heck yeah. And Jenna was like, kind of, maybe, I don't know. I messaged her on Friday, and something didn't work out, so not gonna have that. Next time I'm in Florida, I might interview Hector. But my point is, I want to talk to strangers, and I want to learn about people who have different beliefs than me, and I want to learn why, and I want everyone to be able to see why they believe them. Because I think a big reason for alienation and division is that people just can't see the other side. People don't understand. It's a lack of communication, and I would want to provide that. I think if you're able to understand and humanize your opponent in even in something that you strongly disagree with, they believe it for a reason, right? They don't just believe it in spite of you. They believe it because it's something important to them. So if you're able to humanize them and understand where they're coming from, you're able to love them more. And loving people is never not a bad thing. It's always good to be able to love someone more. And when you understand someone, you're able to love them more because they're not just the opponent. They're a human with just beliefs that are different than yours. So, yeah, I could go over the list. So I made like a note thing on my phone, and I've kind of been thinking about names for the podcast if I would do it. Anyways, but then I would have like as the description for the podcast, it would be the why behind beliefs and a challenge to them. So I wouldn't just ask them, oh, why do you believe this? Why do you believe that? I would study their belief and if they're up for it, I would challenge them on it, because if a good belief should be able to stand against some challenge. Even if I agree with the point, I would still offer, challenges. All of these aren't going to be personal attacks, of course. They're just going to be the beliefs themselves. So if it would be a vegan, I would offer them, counterpoints and say, hey, this is why veganism isn't good. Like, this is why people say veganism isn't good. This is why you shouldn't be unionizing. This is why you shouldn't be a Nazi, And then they would respond, and people are able to see, okay, what is their response? To maybe prepare them for another talk with a Nazi or a vegan. Not trying to create a correlation, but it can help people who do want to talk to people like that, and maybe if they hold the same reason for that belief, you can prepare for it in a talk if you're going to talk or have a debate with someone like that. But also, you're able to go deeper into the why, into that. So yeah, I would want to do that. Okay, I'll name off a couple. A homeless person, an old person, a social activist, a transgender person, an Arminian, a pro-choicer, an astrologist, a socialist, an interpretive artist, an ethical vegan, a racist, a hitchhiker/hobo, a schizophrenic, a Disney adult, a soldier, a person with OCD, a morbidly obese person, the average American, an immigrant, a pagan, a new age spiritual... Ow. Battery died. Anyways, that's the idea. Hopefully I will do that in the future. I love you all. Peace.